Mayor here. Have a unanimous group. There is a quorum. Would you stand and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance with us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is citizens to be heard. Speaker participation instructions are provided in writing at the beginning of the agenda. Note the Texas Open Meetings Act permits a member of the public or a member of a governmental body to raise a subject that has not been included in the notice for the meeting. However, any discussion of the subject must be limited to a proposal to place the subject on the agenda for a future meeting, and any response to a question posed to the City Council is limited to either a statement of specific factual information or a recital of existing policy. I have one card. It's from Patrick Kane. Mr. Kane, you have 3 minutes, sir.
Good evening. Patrick Kane, 1123 East Cedar Street, Rockport. Speaking tonight because I don't believe I'll be able to make the joint workshop. So over the next few days, the city is considering 2 developments for attainable housing. Both developers are asking you to approve the same thing, rezoning to smaller lots, higher density, R1 to R2. The difference is tonight's developer is not asking for a tax handout. Tonight's developer also has fewer houses on a larger tract of land, 115 homes on 36 acres compared to 163 homes on 33 acres for the next development being proposed. So there's no question we need attainable housing for our first responders, our teachers, and local workers. The question is, how do you help make that happen? Given tonight's request, it is clear that you can achieve that goal by approving higher density developments. You don't need to subsidize developers at $40,000 a lot, as is being requested on Thursday. So, yay tonight, nay Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Next item on the agenda, recognition of Captain Nathan Garcia and his 16 years of service with the City of Rockport. Captain Garcia is retiring from the department with his last day being March 14th. Chief?
Come on up here. It's a joyous time when an individual retires from their job, but in this particular instance, it's going to leave us diminished without a doubt. I have a prepared statement. I'll get to that shortly, but we're really going to miss Captain Garcia. He's been instrumental in bringing our department to where it is today and getting us accredited with the Texas Police Chiefs Association. He started that, 2016 is when we first got accredited, and he ran that program, and since then we got accredited every 4 years, and we just recently did again, and so we'll bring that up next council meeting. So, honoring the retirement of Captain Nathan Garcia. Today we recognize and celebrate the distinguished career of Captain Nathan Garcia, whose dedication to law enforcement and public service has left a lasting impact on the Rockport Police Department and the community. Captain Garcia began his service with the Rockport Police Department in February 2009 after an impressive career with the Texas Department of Public Safety from January 1999 to April 2007. Following his tenure there, he served as a federal contractor in Iraq, Afghanistan, further demonstrating his commitment to service before returning to law enforcement in Rockport. A lifelong learner and leader, Captain Garcia earned his bachelor's degree from Columbia University and is a proud graduate of the prestigious FBI National Academy. His expertise in law enforcement is further reflected in his Master Peace Officer certification and his role as a certified firearms instructor. Before embarking on his law enforcement career, Captain Garcia served in the United States Army, instilling in him the discipline, leadership, and integrity that has defined his service. As he retires from the Rockport Police Department, we extend our deepest gratitude for his years of dedication leadership, and unwavering commitment to public safety. We wish him all the best in this next chapter of life. Thank you, Captain Garcia, for your service. So I do appreciate it. I wanted to recognize Captain Garcia publicly in front of the council and in front of our citizens, but this is a week of celebration for us. So we are having a luncheon tomorrow at the police department. I believe you guys are invited to that. So we'll have a luncheon tomorrow, and then on Friday we'll be issuing him his duty pistol that he's been carrying for many years, as well as his retirement badge and credentials, as well as a plaque. So it's a week of celebration for Captain Garcia, and we are definitely going to miss him as he moves on to his next adventure. So thank y'all for your time, and we are looking forward to it. Thank you, sir.
For the benefit of all of y'all, Nathan came to work the department when I was chief over there, and he worked really hard and really long, and I appreciate him very much. I'm really happy for him. He's looking at a new career position, and it's one that he richly deserves. Appreciate you, Nathan. Next item on the agenda is consent agenda. The following items will be acted upon in a single motion. No separate discussion or action of any of these items will be held unless pulled at the request of a member of the City Council. Anyone wish to pull either of them?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye. Mayor,
aye. It's unanimous. Next item on the agenda, a request to rezone property located at 1859 FM 2165, also known as 35.8 acres out of Tracts 1, 2, 3, 22, and 23, H Moore Subdivision. Before taking action on this, we will hold a public hearing for those interested in speaking. If there are those folks here, it is 6:37 and we are in the public session. Anyone wishing to address this issue?
I can't hear very good. What was that?
If you want to discuss or talk about the issue on the this is a public hearing on that matter. And there you go, right there. Tell us who you are and your address.
I'm Matt Barnsworth. I'm working for Jerry Shaw, the owner of the 35 acres, and Brandy's helping us develop that into 115 lots, and they're going to be various sizes. We're looking at a structural insulated panel. It's called a SIP. We're going to do SIP construction with a heavy windstorm, and then we're looking into the 3D printed homes to do the concrete walls with the SIP roof. But all that's in the future. What we're working on right now is to get the lift station and the sewer and all the infrastructure in. And I really like the way we're setting it up, because that lift station is going to handle that whole section of Rockport, not just our property. So we're going to cut way back on the lift stations. And we're real excited about it.
Great. We appreciate you.
Okay. Any questions?
Not right now.
Okay.
Have a seat. We'll see if we can. Brandy, do you have anything you want to bring up?
I was just here to answer questions.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just waiting on the question.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick. Go ahead.
Patrick Kane, 1123 East Cedar Street, Rockport. So you already know my position. I'm in favor, right? So I'll start out with that. I'm in favor of rezoning. If you're going to rezone land, what is the public benefit for approving it, right? In this case, smaller lot sizes, equals higher density developments, which typically means lower cost houses. So on March 3rd, at the P&Z meeting, the statement was, and this is a quote, attainable, hopefully in the $200,000 range, right? So there is significant public benefit if one of y'all's priority is for attainable housing. 115 homes on 35.8 acres seems quite reasonable. I think they said up to 5,700 square foot lots was in the presentation. And all these they're asking is for the higher density development. For that, you get the infrastructure at the developer cost, and there's no tax subsidy. So thumbs up from Patrick Kane as a taxpayer of Rockport. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. It is 6:40. Consider approval of second final readings of Ordinance 1967, amending the official zoning map as stipulated under Article 4.1 of the City of Rockport zoning ordinance number 1027 by changing the zoning of land from R1, First Single Family Dwelling District, for property located at 1859 FM 2165, also known as 35.8 acres out of Tracts 1, 2, 3, 22, and 23, H Moore Subdivision, to R2, Second Single Family Dwelling District, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ms. Dietrich, anything new?
No, sir, I'm just here to answer any questions you may have.
Mayor, this is a first reading on the ordinance.
It is the first reading, yes.
We'll be back next time.
Okay. Questions?
P&Z voted unanimously to recommend approval.
Okay.
In the motion, do we just need to move to accept it on first reading?
Yes.
Do we need to do any language for the first reading?
You can just make a motion to approve on first reading.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve agenda item number 4 as read.
All
To
right, I
approve.
have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Have a motion to vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Next item, consider approval of the first of two readings of Ordinance 1966, amending Ordinance 1948, which adopted the 2024-2025 budget beginning October 1st, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025, repealing all prior ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for publications and providing for an effective date. This is to appropriate restricted deposits received from the Law Enforcement Officer Standards and Education Fund. Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Mr.
Good evening.
Flynn.
Here, one, I just want to point out that we only need one reading to amend the budget, please. What this is about is that in the budget process, we originally budgeted for $2,000 of LEOSE fundings, which is Law Enforcement Officer Standards and Education. And these are restricted funds specifically for officer training at the discretion of the chief. Again, initially we budgeted for $2,000, but we did receive an additional payment, additional grant proceeds just, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. And so what it is, that means we went from having just $2,000 in there to actually receiving over $4,100. So what we're wanting to do is appropriate the difference between the $2,000 originally budgeted and the $4,100, which comes out to $2,188.07. And we're wanting to appropriate that and put that also in that restricted account in the police department's budget. And so that's what we're asking tonight.
Okay. All right. Questions, council?
I move to approve item 5 as presented.
Have a motion, have a second.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second.
Yeah, we can make one change to the motion. So your ordinance allows for a budget ordinance to be read by one. The notice on our notice, public notice says this is 1 or 2 readings. You can make a motion to approve on 1 reading. That would be, that should cover us.
Mayor, I'd like to amend my motion. I would like to approve item 5 on one reading, on first reading.
All right. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, very good. We've already had everybody ready for Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye, it's unanimous.
Sorry, we're just trying to keep the records straight.
That's
Thank
perfectly
you.
all right. I'm glad we don't have a room full of people that are laughing at me already. So. All right. Item number 6, consider approval on second and final reading, I think, of ordinance 1965, canceling the May 3, 2025 general election for the City of Rockport, Texas, and declaring 2 unopposed candidates for the City Councilmember Ward 1 and Ward 3 as elected, requiring posting of this ordinance at each polling place in accordance with state law, requiring the issuance of certificate of election to each candidate, providing severability clause, providing an effective date. Anything else that we need to know?
There's no changes.
Okay,
On the second reading.
thank you. Any questions, council? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve agenda item number 6.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Aye, it is unanimous. Item number 7, consider approval of second and final reading of ordinance 1964, repealing the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, Chapter 40, Employees, Article 1, Personnel Policy, providing for findings of fact, repealers, severability, compliance, and Open Meetings Act, and providing for an effective date.
There have been no changes since the first reading.
Okay,
Move to approve item 7 is
I have
presented.
a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 8, consider approval of resolution 2025-10R, adopting an updated personnel policy manual for the City of Rockport as set forth in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated herein, providing for the incorporation of premises and providing an effective date.
Mayor and council, we talked last meeting about how our personnel policy was adopted by ordinance and we needed to move it over to a resolution. So this is that resolution. We've updated all of the necessary items. We've had it reviewed by legal to kind of button up some loose ends and loopholes in our personnel policy. You've all had a chance to review it. I believe some of you have had a chance to visit with our HR manager, Casey Eden. She had something come up and couldn't be here. But I will answer any questions if you have any.
Questions, council?
I have none. I'll move to approve item 8 is presented.
Have a motion?
I'll
Have a
second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? We will call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 9, consider approval of resolution 2025-11R of the City of Rockport, Texas, authorizing the award of administrative project delivery service provider contract for the Hazard Mitigation Assistance grant projects being allowed through the Texas Department of Emergency Management to be awarded to GrantWorks Incorporated. Ms. Henry.
Yes, Mayor and Council, thank you. We received 2 bids for this. However, one of them came in after the deadline, so we only really received one officially. And that one did score an 87.67 on the average, so it was still scored. And this is a competent firm to do these services, and staff recommends approval.
Questions, council?
Move to approve item 9 as presented.
I have a
Second.
motion. Do I have a second? I'll second. I have a motion and a second.
Okay, Andrew, second.
And I couldn't hear you.
It's okay.
You heard
I'll
me
talk
fussing
louder.
about that a little earlier.
Use your
Hey,
Brad voice.
anyway, we have 2 seconds. Motion, we have a motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Item number 10, consider approval of resolution 2025-12R of the City of Rockport, Texas, authorizing the award of professional service provider contracts for the Hazard Mitigation Assistance grant project being allocated through Texas Department of Emergency Management, that it be awarded to Ardurra Engineering Services. Ms. Henry.
Yes, Again, this is the same projects, however, it's just now that for the engineering, we did only receive one response, and that one on the average scored a 96. This is a competent firm, and staff does recommend moving forward.
Questions, council?
On these two projects, these were projects that we've had on the books for a couple of years, right? That we've been looking at.
We actually applied for a previous grant, HGMAP, I think, grant, and along with the generators, we've been awarded the generators. These were pulled out by TDEM,
Okay.
and so we're reapplying for them now under this process, another TDEM program.
Is the Shell Ridge project, is the county doing?
They've got something a little different, and Ryan can speak more to that.
So the Shell Ridge project is the outfall at Loop 70, where it just diminishes right there where it crosses. So this would be an outfall ditch out to back behind Shell Ridge and Blue Lagoon. Back
Into the deeper water back there.
Into the, yeah, back there in the mud flash.
Okay.
So it's pretty much a land acquisition and an outfall ditch.
Okay.
But this will release all that water from here, you know, all the way back to Business 35.
Yeah, South Rockport all the way.
And
Second, I guess that ties into Second Street.
Bayou and Ramsey's apartments and all those.
Yeah.
So this would be a pretty simple project, which has some land acquisition, easement, and another ditch. So there was no problem drainage for sure.
And then the sedimentation, is that a continuation of our sedimentation ponds, RCC?
It's not RCC, this is citywide.
Citywide, okay.
Other questions? Not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve agenda item number 10.
Have a motion, have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? Not, we will call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2. Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 11, receive an update provided by Lloyd Gosselink on Texas Senate Bill 6, which was introduced in response to the December Capacity, Demand, and Reserve Report. Mr. Sorrell.
This is a follow-up. We received frequent correspondence from the Lloyd Gosselink Group, and this is a follow-up on the Capacity, Demand, and Reserve Report that came out at the end of December, where they were talking about possibly not being able, the grid not being able to meet peak demands in summer of as early as 2026. So with the legislative session in full swing, the Senate Bill 6 was introduced specifically in response to that report, and if this is adopted, Senate Bill 6 would increase regulatory requirements on investors in major energy consuming projects with an eye toward improving ERCOT's energy load forecasting. It would also put more requirements on behind the meter generation sources, and then new demands response rules for larger loads would allow ERCOT to better manage in emergency situations. Finally, the bill would amend the cost allocation of transmission expenses so residential customers face a relatively lesser burden and create a minimum transaction interconnection charge, because your transmission is just, it's so expensive to put in. And so since these costs are being driven largely by commercial entities, they're wanting to push more of those costs onto those guys instead of letting it be borne by the residential customers. So that's just an update on this. So they are trying to do something about this, be proactive rather than reactive.
Right.
Any
Questions, council?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Reports from council.
Is it your report first or ours? I have a city manager's update.
Go right ahead.
I just have a couple things. Of course, we saw that this is Garcia's last week, so if you get a chance, run by and thank him for his service, and We appreciate what he's done for us. We will be filing an extension for our 2024 audit. We're not quite ready. As you know, Robbie's been tasked with catching up 3 years' worth of audits, so that doesn't happen overnight, but he's doing a great job. Coffee with the city manager is gonna be the 19th at 7 a.m. I'll be at Bella LaBrue. There'll be an open free-for-all, so come see me. Actually, no, y'all don't come see me. No, I'm teasing. Anybody's welcome. I'll answer questions to the extent I can or visit with anybody that's coming through. That will be a monthly meeting. I'll move it around to different coffee shops though, so that'll be the first one. Rockport University starts next Thursday, the 20th, with council and city manager and city secretary. So that's gonna be exciting. We wanted to start at the beginning of the year, but we were trying to gather up more interest, and I think we've done pretty good. So that's gonna be exciting. We'll flesh it out. It'll change as we go, but hopefully we'll get some more people engaged and involved. That's it.
Thank you. Report from council.
A lot of work downtown, so I wanted to thank you, Ryan. Doing a lot of work at the median light poles, preparation for installation. Spring break week, so hopefully the merchants have a really successful week and weekend, and everyone else stay safe out there.
All right. Matt?
Just wanted to say thank you for the invitation to participate in the Oyster Fest parade. Enjoyed that. It was a great event and appreciated being invited.
Thank you. Ward 3, Brad?
First off, I would like to thank the Fleet Department once again for the award-winning, even if we didn't win awards, I say we won, float golf cart. Jody and the team, they make us look good. That's all I can say about that. The golf cart looked great. I don't know where he gets his artistic ability, but it's pretty good. I lack that skill 100%. I can barely color with crayons. So I just want to thank those guys for getting that ready for us. Also, Brittany and the whole Parks Department for the Hoop Terrain Strut. Myself and my family participated. I saw Mayor Pro Tem was there. She did the whole marathon, I think, right? Was it a full marathon or
The whole
just
10K.
yeah, whatever. I was going to let you
Thank
embellish a
you.
little bit. I just walked 2 miles and that was enough. So I'd like to thank Brittany and the Parks Department for putting that on. It was a great event, well attended. Spring break week, as has already been said, and got beautiful weather. So hopefully everybody comes down and visits Rockport. Got Crawfish Festival this weekend down at the end of the beach. So that ought to be fun. Nice and crowded, and looks like good weather.
Ward 4?
Well, I think everyone's already said it. It's been we had Oyster Fest parade, and it's spring break, so kids are out. Just, be careful and stay safe. And yes, the Whooping Crane was a great event. I think we had a record of over 360 people, so that's a lot, and I think that's great, and it's a fun event. And just thank you to the staff and how much you guys have been putting on for the citizens lately and how much you guys have been doing. We just really appreciate all the hard work you guys have been putting in, so thank you.
I haven't got anything that had been mentioned twice already. It's been a busy week. A lot of people are in town. I have seen restaurants jam-packed with people and talked to some of the restaurant owners, and they were really happy. They're feeling real good about the week and spring break. It looks like the weather will be great. So we are happy to see that and happy to see all our visitors here in town. We are going to go into executive session. City Council recesses open meetings and reconvene in executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071 for consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code 551.074 personnel matters. This will deal with Concho Street drainage, City Hall construction, financial management, pending litigation. It is 6:59 and we are in executive session. We're back in regular session.
Motion adjourned.